And it's Wednesday night, and it's time for the Pastor's Chat. So, good evening to you all. Um, Coming online now. It's been Wednesdays are a big meeting kind of night for me. So, I had some meetings yesterday, and we had some meetings today with the diocese, and then some with this afternoon with the companions. And again, it's the second Wednesday of the month is my finance team as well. So we just finished that meeting as well. So lots going on. But I want to share with you really the big news or the different thing or the exciting thing is we had a bit of a surprise actually on Monday that the diocese came out and said, in keeping with what's going on in other trends in the whole of restrictions and lifting of restrictions, we're no longer required to take tracing information. I think, to be honest with you, in the last month or so, there's been so many infections with the variant they couldn't even track anyway. So what were they doing with this information? Like the idea being if someone was infected and we found out later, we could probably trace and let people know, but you almost couldn't get away from it. It seemed around Christmas time. So a lot of people were getting sick. And so anyway, why they made the decision, I don't know. I don't know all the background, but the bottom line is that we don't have to do that anymore. Okay, what does that really change for us? Well, practically speaking, not a great deal. Like, it just, we don't have to take your name down. I think our problem from the beginning has nothing much to do with tracing. I think we've done a pretty good job with that because that's why the online thing, it did it almost automatically, and we just had to check that, yes, indeed, we were already expecting you and you are actually here. Okay, that was helpful. When you registered online, you had to give your email, and that gave us the information. We already had most of the information that we needed. What our problem has been from the beginning is the shape of our church. It's kind of a diamond shape if you think about it. And so the center pews are quite large, but the front and the back, they get smaller, especially at the front. There's only 55 spots in the whole church, right? There's only 55 spots. Like when we do all the, area and social distancing and all that kind of thing. So if one person sits in each seat, in each space, essentially there's only 55 people that could be in church. At Christmas time, we had it set up before it kind of all went south with the new variant, but I think we had 170, people able to get in. Like if we put them in and we jig it so that all the big families are in the big pews and that we use up every bit of space, it's amazing how many we can get in, and it's really important to us. So it's not just that because we don't have to keep contract tracing anymore, all of a sudden we're just going to open the doors and anybody can sit where they like. I think we'll still do some assigned seating, and I think it's particularly if you have a larger family or if you have a large number in your bubble, whatever context that is, let us know. Because we already have 2 more weeks of reservations already kind of in the box kind of thing. So that's all good. But what we want to do is when you come in, like we want to still greet you and say hello, and maybe just a simple question like how many in your party? Almost like a restaurant. So if you have a large, reservation, that's great. If you have, anniversary party and you got 10 or 12, well, we need to know that because we have to prepare that. But if you're just 1 or 2 or 3, then we can just slot you in and we'll just put you in a seat. Just that easy peasy. Now, why I want to share that with you, does it really change a huge amount? Probably not really. I think is it more flexibility, and people feeling that they're welcome and we don't have to go through the rigmarole online. We never really liked that, but it was useful tool because it just got more people in the building. But I like it because it's a celebration of the win. Like it's a milestone. It's something we've had to do for a year and a half now, like really almost since we reopened in the spring of, when even was that, 2019 or I can't remember. We've been doing it for so long now. I can't remember that all happened. I guess it was 2020, the spring of 2020, the fall or the summer. That's right, the late spring. That's when we opened up again after the 4 months. That was really hard, and so that's lifted is something that it gets me excited because I think what's coming fairly quickly here will be really almost everything. I think the only restriction I could see in the near future is masks. So people will still be required to wearing masks in church and in public places, but we'll be able to sit where we want. We'll be able to go up to communion as we like. We'll be able to. We don't have to register. We don't have to track. And I think that's coming in about a month. Now it's not there yet, and things could change. Okay, fair enough. But that's why I'm kind of excited about this. I don't want to kind of sit on it or just kind of continue as we are because I really think it's something that we want to be aware of. Like the things are moving forward and there is a new normal, and it's going to get back to something I hope a little bit more, I don't know, free. It's just go to church and sit down and pray and not have to think about all these other things. So that's a good news. I think that's really, really good news. So let's celebrate that that's happening. That's yay. We're getting closer. And then just communicating in reality probably doesn't change a huge amount. Like I think still, it's good, especially if you're in a larger party, to register. The only real mass I think that's going to affect is the 10, because the 10 we do sell out consistently. And I think we have a little backup plan is what we might do, just to be ready, is to have an overflow, like into the hall. Like even if we had that particular mass, we'll be ready for all the masses. But if for whatever reason, so an extra 60 people showed up that I just wasn't accounting for, I don't want to turn anybody away. I don't think we've had to do that. I know that maybe online it said that masses were sold out, but I don't think we've ever said to someone, no, I'm sorry, you can't stay, you have to go. I think we've managed to get through this far without ever turning away, particularly a family that didn't know, or maybe from out of town, or didn't know our system, and that would just grieve me. So that's kind of our plan B. Now, I don't think we're going to need it, frankly, but we're going to have it so that we can play it in real time. So how does this work then? So just if someone's joining a bit later, or people who are watching this from the beginning will know, they have lifted the restriction of having to keep contract information. We'll keep what we have for a few more months or whatever, just that we have it. We did what we're told to do, but that we'll be able to just kind of really, it's more about the numbers. But the one thing I do like about the way we've been kind of doing this has been sort of when you come in, I hope you got to see this, we get to know people's names. And I think the hosts and the greeters have done an amazing job. Like I just watch it every day, right? So I just see them do this, and they generally call out the name and say, it's good to see you. And they even ask me a personal question. And that part I kind of like. I think we should kind of continue to do that. I think that's a good thing. We just don't have to worry so much about your name and your contact information. It's just merely, how many in your party? 4. Okay, great. We've got a spot for you. We'll put you in, just fill up the church and blah, blah, blah. And if we just one, okay, we'll put you over here. Just like you would at a restaurant, where you don't fill up your table at 12 with 2 people, because then you get 10 spaces you're not really using. So that's the plan. So that's good news. The other big news is talking about today with the diocesan meetings has been around the Synod on the Centrality. The Synod on Centrality. Yeah. So what this is a sort of a gathering, or how does a church govern itself? How does a church make decisions? How do we hear from a billion people? If you think about it, if the Pope wants to kind of do almost like a feedback loop and say, well, how are we doing, and what could we do better? He has to talk to a billion people on 7 continents in probably 5, 6, 7, maybe 1,000 countries and cultures. Like, that's a lot when you think about it. And everybody's got their own kind of take on it and everybody's own little twist. But nonetheless, that's essentially what he's asked. And so our little role in that is to say, okay, the diocese sort of kind of putting out this thing. That's what we're talking about today. They have a plan. They have some pretty good people actually running that. But even how we want to use it locally. Lindsay's going to be taking that on for us. And we were on Pastor's Chat on Sunday, and we talked a bit about this and how we're going to do it. But see, we took a little bit of twist to it. The diocese is doing the same thing. We kind of independent of each other. We came to the same conclusion and said, well, look, if we're going to just reach out to people, and we are sort of in this season where we seem to be getting past some of the restrictions and limitations, why don't we just use this as an opportunity to talk to people, get people together and ask them how they're doing and what's been going on, and how is your pandemic, and where do you see the church at? Like, how is it still affecting you? How is it still a part of your life? What would you want more? And not just sort of us that have sort of kind of worked through this, maybe people who have gone to other churches, maybe people who aren't going to church right now or haven't been. Maybe it's been even before they were connected to our schools, or we just want to hear from them. Like, maybe they have something to say to us, maybe they don't, but at least ask the question. I think that's always important, lead with the question. How are you? What was your connection to the church? What is your connection to the church? What is your faith? How do you see that getting better? Like, if we did nothing else, if we just did that in a few small groups, and just almost like, I think in industry they call this focus groups, but how could we do better with our seniors? What is a situation with the youth of our parish? Are there young couples that are coming? We're kind of blessed that way. We have, these younger families that are coming here. Okay, amazing. Like, how did you find us? Like, how do you know about us? Just your folks that are just looking for something else. I think we're all a little tired. We're all a little bit cranky. But what's the need there? What's the wound that we can help you connect with Christ on? I think we continue to run Alpha. I'm very pleased with the. We have about 20 people taking Alpha right now, but also the Called and Gifted. We put that out there, and 25 people signed up. In fact, we've got, I think we're a little bit over, which is it's a nice thing. Like, okay, 25 people is 25 people, but that's not bad. And getting people hooked into their charisms and their gifts and seeing what's possible. So these are all good things. Like, yeah, I know it's dark. I was kind of whiny on the weekend because it was so cold. I usually walk with somebody on Saturday mornings, and we've had 5 in a row. I think that this will be the 5th in a row, like minus 20. So we haven't been out as much. So it's cold, it's dark, it's a bit bleak. Yeah. Yeah, there's some stuff going on in the city right now that's difficult, and I'll put it out there. It's not easy. There's many sides to this. It's not our particular problem right here, but it still affects us, and it still affects people in our parish. But all that aside, like we're getting there. Like, this is mid-February. Linear time as it is. We're going to be into March here in a couple of weeks. March is Ash Wednesday. That's Lent. Lent leads to Easter. The nice thing about a late Easter, it'll actually be spring. It'll be warm. Probably the snow is gone by the time we celebrate Easter. Fantastic. Like, let's celebrate that. We could be can you remember a time we didn't have to have pre-everything, and you could just come to church, and this is where it's heading. And it's good news. And I'm glad you're part of it. So I don't know if there's any questions people want to ask. Angela, I think you're there. Thank you. I just only have one person that's chimed in. So I know there's a few more of you online. If there's a question that you have about all that, I hope it makes sense. I'm a little wound up about it because, as I say, it's been, I still have one more meeting after this one. So it's my 4th or 5th event here today. So it does take a little bit of a toll. But overall, I got to say, I'm pretty happy about it. I got out a little inspiration on Monday. One of our priests has a season's pass at Voilage, and although it's a local ski hill and it's kind of easy, I went there and just had a great day skiing on Monday. And I ski a lot, and I used to love it, but just you get kind of like, I don't know, I don't want to go. I don't go. Get out, get some fresh air, enjoy it. It was just a real change of attitude, which was very helpful. So it's all good news. There's Jeff and Karen. Good stuff. Good evening to you both. Thank you for chiming in. So there we have it. So good news. Things are starting to lift. I think the next round will be even more, although the numbers won't change too much. I think just because, again, it's the shape of our church. It's been a challenge from day one. But that, too, I think will come to a pass. I think by March, we're going to be in something a little bit better. And that's good news. And we'll keep talking, and we'll keep celebrating the milestones as we get closer to this new reality. So my good friends, may the good Lord watch over you, guide you, and protect you. May the saints and angels intercede for you. May our Blessed Mother wrap you in the mantle of her peace. May Almighty God bless you and keep you this day and every day. And may Almighty God bless you now, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Take care now. God bless. Roxanne, a reminder that Alpha for Seniors, yes, is online, starts this Tuesday. So seniors, which I qualify for, I am 55 plus, that Alpha is running for seniors. So we're going to try to do that as a bit of an outreach as well. So I think they've been doing some training. We've been running Alpha for the parish online now for 4 of them, I think, 3 or 4 of them over the pandemic. And this is one that's really got geared towards our seniors. We have our seniors mass next Wednesday, just a reminder about that. And I think there's a luncheon afterwards too. So the mass you don't have to register for, but the luncheon you do, because they got to know how many people to feed. So that's all part of it. But you can connect through the parish if you need more information about that. So yes, Alpha, we've been hearing about Alpha. You kind of wondering about Alpha. You're not too sure about this whole share group things. Well, the groups will all be, seniors 55 plus. So it might be a good chance to take that and just, again, to hear the good news of Christ coming into the world. All right. God bless you all. Take care. Good night.